Hey guys, it's Natalie and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have a massive book haul, and when I say massive, I mean massive. I'll insert a picture of all of the books that have arrived to my parents' house. Basically, I ordered a bunch of books before COVID happened and kind of in the beginning, but not so much towards the end. And since I haven't been able to go to my parents' house because of the coronavirus, the packages have just been piling up. So I'm gonna film this video in two parts because I literally have so many books and we could be sitting here for God knows how long. So I'm gonna start off in this video with like the smaller packages, which are the ones from Amazon, and then I'll do a separate video for the book outlet boxes, which are the big ones. So let's get straight into it. So the first book is actually already unboxed because my sister accidentally opened it because she thought it was something that she was expecting in the mail, and that is City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. This is the third book in the Mortal Instruments series and in the Shadowhunters universe. I'm slowly working my way through the series. I've already read City of Bones and City of Ashes, and so now I just need to move on to City of Glass. This one is absolutely humongous. It's nearly 600 pages, so like I'm not mentally prepared for that. But anyways, yeah, I'm so excited to have this one, and my collection is slowly growing. This series is absolute garbage, but I just love it. So yeah, I have the third book in the Mortal Instruments series. I'm gonna need scissors. Oh no, my stocking from Christmas is in here and it still has candy in it. Oh my god. I have acquired some scissors, so let's get straight into it. So this first one says, I feel like I know what this one is. Like, I'm just predicting that this one is gonna be Binti by Nnedi Okorafor because I remember that it was coming from San Diego, California, and it's in like a weird bubble mailer that Amazon normally doesn't ship in, so let's get straight into it. So I was right, it is Binti by Nnedi Okorafor. So this is actually a novella series, and if I'm not mistaken, it's published by Tor. Yeah, Tor is a publishing company that does a lot of novellas, and this one is a trilogy, and this is the first one, Binti, and then I believe there's The Night Masquerade, and then there's another one. But anyways, this is a fantasy sci-fi novella series that I've heard nothing but good things about, so I decided to pick up the first novella. I didn't realize until after I bought this that there was actually a bind up of all three novellas, which I should have just bought because it's a lot cheaper than just buying each individual one. So I might end up like returning this one and just getting the bind up. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm super excited to start the series. I've heard nothing but good things about it. Okay, so up next we have another one. I don't know what this is from. This might be a book that I ordered used, because sometimes I order used books on Amazon if they're in good condition or if the book itself is really expensive for a brand new copy. So I was right, it's actually a book that I bought used, and that is Fragments of the Lost by Megan Miranda. This is the Literally Dead Book Club May pick, and it's a virtual book club hosted by Kayla over at Books and Lala. I will link her video down below if you're interested in joining. Anybody can join at any time. And basically she just picks a thriller for her members to read every month, and then she hosts a live show with a co-host where they discuss the book. And this month the pick is Fragments of the Lost, and this one isn't in as great a condition as I thought it would be. I've ordered a couple of used books off Amazon before and they've been in good condition. This one has a rip in the corner and there is a lot of sticker residue, and the end pages, or the edges I mean, are very dirty. So I mean, it's not bad for what I got it for. I got it for like $3, I believe, so it's not that bad. And I normally don't end up keeping thrillers once I'm done reading them anyway, so I can't really complain. But yeah, I'm super excited to read this one. Hopefully I'll have time to squeeze this in at the end of the month. If you saw my May TBR video, you might know I'm taking part in 3 readathons, so if I can squeeze this one in, I will. But yeah, this is the May pick and I'm super excited to get into it. So the next one is another one from Amazon, so let's open it up. I really like how this package is like recyclable paper. I don't think I've ever had a book from Amazon shipped in something like this before, so I think that's really cool. But this one is one that I'm super excited about. This is either self-published or indie published, I believe, and that is The Abyss Surrounds Us by Emily Skrutsky. And this one is basically a queer book where a bunch of sapphic girls fight sea monsters, and that's literally all I know about it, and that's all I need to know about it. I heard about this book over at Boston Reads, I believe that's what her channel is called, and she absolutely loves this book and she always talks about it. So I'll link her channel down below. She always recommends like the best queer books. So yeah, I'm super excited to get to this one. I might be reading this month just because I'm so excited to read it. But I don't know if I've ever actually read like an indie or self-published book, so I'm really excited to read this one. So this next one, I'm not 100% sure where it's from. I think it's from Amazon, but it says something about Book Outpost. So I'm not 100% sure. This might be one that I got used or that wasn't fulfilled by Amazon. So let's open it up. So the next thing I have is Quiet Girl in a Noisy World by Debbie Tung, and this one is actually a little graphic novel, and I've heard nothing but good things about it, and it's basically just a story about a introverted girl, and it just looks so cute. I'm so excited to read this one because I'm an introvert myself, so I'm just really excited because I've just heard everyone like rave about this, and I love graphic novels, so I'm just so happy that I have this one. Okay, so the next one I have is in a standard like Amazon Prime bubble mailer, so let's open it up. Ooh, okay, so this next one I'm really excited about, and it is the Death Note Volume 1 Black Edition, and I'm so excited about this because it has black sprayed edges, and it's a bind up of Volumes 1 and 2. I've seen people who have these like collector's editions, and I just absolutely love the way they look. I've actually tried watching the anime a couple of times, but I never could really get into it, so I feel like I really just need to read the source material, read the manga first before I watch the series. But yeah, I'm super excited about this just because it's absolutely gorgeous and I just can't wait to read it. I love horror manga, so this looks really good. Okay, so I have one more like Amazon Prime bubble mailer, so let's open that up. Okay, so this one is another graphic novel, and this one is called Heavy Vinyl by Uzdin Vacueva, Flores, and Nalty. So I think those are actually all 4 of their last names because I think there's multiple people who work on this. But basically this is a graphic novel series about a group of girls who work at a vinyl store, and I heard it's got queer representation, so I'm just here for it. Like, I just absolutely love that cover. Like, it just looks like it's gonna be fantastic. And I've been trying to read more graphic novels. I'm currently in the middle of reading 2 different series, Amulet and Saga. I don't know if you guys watch my channel a lot, but those are 2 series that I'm in the middle of. But I'm always interested to add more to my TBR, so yeah, I'm super excited to get into this one. So the next one I have is in like this cardboard thing, so let's open it up. I'm not very good at like opening things, so just like please ignore that. I literally have the strength of an infant baby, so So up next, I have a graphic novel, and that is Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me by Mariko Tamaki and Rosemary Valera O'Connell. I've heard nothing but good things about this graphic novel here on BookTube. This is a queer, I believe, female-female relationship story, and I think that our main character's girlfriend just keeps breaking up with her over and over again, and the relationship is sort of toxic. And I feel like I've never really read about a toxic queer relationship, so I feel like that'll be really eye-opening. And I just absolutely love the art style and just like the color palette. It's a lot of pinks and blacks, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous. So hopefully I will be reading this next month in June for Pride Month. I'm just so excited to read this one. It looks fantastic. So I'm super happy to add this one to my graphic novel collection. Okay, so now we're moving on to like the actual boxes. So this is going to be a lot of fun to open because I'm just really great at doing that.
I've used scissors a lot in my time, so
I'll be fine. Oh my god. So this book I'm so excited for. One of my most anticipated releases of 2020, and I pre-ordered this before it came out, and that is Felix Ever After by Case and Calendar. Look at this beautiful trans baby on the cover. Oh my god, with the top surgery scars and everything and the flowers. Oh my god! I'm so excited for this book. So I'm actually going to be reading this book next month for Pride Month, and I'm just so excited. Like, that cover is so stunning, and I have never read a book, I believe, with a trans character, maybe only one time, and so I'm excited to broaden my horizons, explore more of the LGBT community, and I'm just so excited to read this. This is Own Voices representation, and I I've been waiting for this book for so long, so I'm so happy that I finally have it in my hands. Okay, so up next we actually have another one of those like cardboard ones, and I believe this one is probably going to be also a graphic novel because I feel like all the graphic novels I bought were in containers like this, so that's what I'm hoping it will be. Okay, so the first thing I see in here is Aphrodite Made Me Do It by Trista Mateer, and this one is, I believe, just a poetry collection, and there's also a bunch of like illustrations, and it's inspired heavily by Aphrodite, and so I'm just really excited to read this one. I've heard really good things about it. I believe there's also queer representation in here, so I'm just super excited. I don't read a lot of poetry, but I definitely want to start reading more. I'm not sure how I feel about modern poetry, but I really am excited to get into this one. Like I said, I've heard really good things about it, and I really like the cover with the neon lights. So yeah. Okay, so next one we have a book, and that is Can We All Be Feminists, edited by June Eric Udori. And this is basically, I believe, an essay collection by a bunch of different like feminists or just people of color in general about feminism and intersectional feminism specifically. And I've been definitely wanting to read a lot more feminist literature and just like expand my horizons, learn more about feminism, because it's constantly a learning process. And I just heard really good things about this. I can't remember which booktuber I heard talk about this, but I heard her say really good things about it, whoever it was. And so yeah, I'm super interested to read this essay collection. I absolutely love anthologies. So yeah. Okay, so next up I have Will My Cat Eat My Eyeballs by Caitlin Doughty, Big Questions from Tiny Mortals About Death. So Caitlin Doughty is basically a mortician, and she writes books about being a mortician, and I believe this one is basically kids asking her questions about death, and she's answering it in a scientific and educational but also kid-friendly manner. So I'm pretty uncomfortable with the idea of death, I'm gonna be honest. It's something that really scares me, so I feel like reading about it in more of a palatable format will definitely like be eye-opening for me. So I absolutely love this cover, and I've heard people say really good things about Caitlin Doughty's stuff. She writes a lot of nonfiction about being a mortician, so I'm definitely interested to get into this one. Okay, so it looks like there's one more thing in this little box. Okay, so it's a graphic novel, and that is Teen Titans Raven by Cami Garcia, illustrated by Gabriel Piccolo. And this one is a graphic novel that's basically about Raven, I believe, as a teenager. And I've heard really good things about this graphic novel. I'm always eyeballing it at the comic book store, so I'm happy that I finally decided to pick it up. I've definitely been wanting to read a lot of more like short things, because I feel like these are really good to read during COVID when my reading slumps have just been taking over my life. So I feel like reading short stuff like this will definitely help me get out of that slump and just to like make my Goodreads number go up and everything. So yeah, I'm super excited to read this one. I absolutely love Teen Titans. Okay, so up next we have another box, and it feels like there's a lot of books in here, so let's open it up. So the first thing I see on top is Toradora Volume 2 by Yuyoko Takemiya and art by Zekio. And this is a anime that I watched and absolutely loved. It's one of my favorite like slice of life animes of all time, and it basically follows a short girl named Taiga, and even though she's like really short, she definitely like packs a punch, and she's very like in your face, and she's just amazing as a character, and I love her so much. And it's basically just about like her relationship and her friendships and everything like that, and it's just a really cute slice of life. And I've never read the manga before, so in this book haul like scattered throughout the boxes, I think I got a total of like 6 volumes, so this is just the second one. There's actually also light novels of Toradora, but I was more interested in reading the manga because I definitely want to incorporate more manga into my reading habits. So yeah, this is just volume 2, but I am so excited to read the manga version of this. It looks so good. Okay, so up next I have Letters to the Lost by Bridget Kemmer. Bridget Kemmer is one of my favorite authors. She came out with one of my favorite fantasy series, which is the Cursebreakers series, and I definitely want to start reading more of her contemporary stuff because I've never read her contemporary stuff. And funny story, I placed a book outlet order last year, and I accidentally bought the second book in this duology, thinking that it was the first book in her other contemporary series, or maybe it's just a standalone, but I ended up buying the second book and I didn't have the first one, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna pick up the first one so I can read the second one. This one's called Letters to the Lost, and it's basically just a contemporary that is about two people who are kind of like damaged, but they end up forming a relationship. And that's all I really know about it, but I'm definitely interested to read it because it's Bridget Kemmerer, so yeah, super excited to read these ones. Okay, so up next I actually have Toradora Volume 1. This is our main character Taiga, who's the short little badass who I love, and this is like the friend slash love interest, and his name is Ryuji. And I'm just so excited to read this. Like I said, it looks so good, and I want to rewatch the anime after I'm done reading this just because I love it and I miss it so much. So yeah, super excited about this. Okay, so the last thing in this box is Song of the Crimson Flower by Julie C. Dow, and I'm actually currently reading the first book in this duology. So basically there's the first book, which is Forest of a Thousand Lanterns. The sequel is, I believe, something Phoenix Blazing something, and then this is like the 2.5 novel, so it's like really short, but it's still part of like the duology slash trilogy, and this one is kind of like a short story, I believe, set in the same universe. So I have all three of them now, and I'm just super excited to read it because basically it's like Asian inspired fantasy, and I just absolutely love that. So yeah, I'm super excited to have these. Okay, so coming up we have another box here. So it's definitely packed to the top, so let's open it up and see what's inside. Ooh, okay, so the first thing I see on top is Tokyo Ghoul Volume 1 by Sui Ishida. And this one is a manga and also an anime that is definitely my favorite of all time. And I've actually read the manga before in high school when someone lent me out their entire collection. But it's been a really long time since I've actually read it. And I've seen the anime like 2 times over because I just absolutely love it. I know I'm trash for it and it's so mainstream now, but it's definitely one of my favorites ever. It basically follows our main character, Kaneki Ken, and he lives in a world where there is ghouls and they look like normal people, but they actually eat people. And they have these things that extend from their back called kagunes, and they help them fight and hunt and everything like that. And Kaneki gets into an accident and he gets an organ transplant from a ghoul, and so it makes him half human, half ghoul, which is kind of uncharted territory in his world. There's never been a half human, half ghoul. So it's basically just Kaneki kind of navigating his life and seeing where he fits in now that he's half human, half ghoul. And I just really love the series, so if you haven't either watched the anime or read the manga, definitely check it out. It's definitely one of my favorites of all time. Okay, so up next I have Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins and Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. I already own Catching Fire in hardcover, but for some reason I didn't have the Hunger Games or Mockingjay, and I wanted to pick these up in anticipation of the prequel that is coming out, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins, which I believe takes place 64 years before the original trilogy, and I'm just super excited to read it. So I got these to read in anticipation of that, and I meant to read these last month, but I ended up not being able to get to it. So hopefully I'll get to this soon, probably way after the next book is actually released, but still excited to get to it. So yeah. Okay, so this is the last Amazon box, so let's get right into it. Okay, so the first thing I see on the top is Blood Heir by Emily Wen Zhao, and this one is an Asian-inspired fantasy, and I believe the author is Chinese American, if I'm not mistaken. But this one is a fantasy that I've heard really good things about, and I actually pulled this one out of my TBR drive for the month of May, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get to it because my TBR is already full, and I also have a secret TBR for a different video I'm going to do. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to squeeze it in because it's like 400 pages. But like I said, this one is an Asian-inspired fantasy that I've heard nothing but good things about, and I'm just so excited to read it. So up next I have Saga Volume 5 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. This is an adult sci-fi graphic novel series that I've been reading since January, and I've been absolutely loving it. This is just the next one that I need to read, and it's basically about 2 star-crossed lovers who are on the run across the galaxy and have a bounty on their head for falling in love because the moon and planet that they were from were at war. So our main character Alana leaves the draft with Marco, her prisoner, who she fell in love with. So basically they're just on the run across the galaxy, and I absolutely love the series. It's really fantastic. Just keep in mind it's definitely for adults though. So up next I have another graphic novel, and that is Amulet Volume 6, Escape from Lucian by Kazuki Boishi. This is a middle grade fantasy graphic novel series that I've been reading since December of last year, and I absolutely love it. It's so captivating and so much fun. It has a lot of like basic tropes in it, like an amulet that beholds a prophecy and everything like that, but there's a lot of really great relationships in this book between siblings and friends and found family, and I just absolutely love the little universe that Kazuki Boishi has built. And I don't know, I just really love this series. It's so much fun and easily bingeable, so if you're looking for something light because it's middle grade but also high fantasy at the same time, highly recommend the series. It's absolutely fantastic. So the last book I have in this box is Love Boat Taipei by Abigail Hing Wen, and if you guys saw my May TBR video, this book is actually on my May TBR, and I originally started listening to it on audio, but I'm not sure if I love the audiobook, so I definitely want to continue to read this physically. So I'm happy that I have it and I can actually like read it physically now. I absolutely love this cover, and I'm so excited to finally finish this book. I'm only like a quarter of the way through, so I'm just happy to have it in my hands. Okay, so the last box I have for this video is my May Book of the Month box, which is a book service subscription that I've had for I think like 7 or 8 months now, and I absolutely love the service because you literally just get to pick a brand new hardcover, normally an early release book, for only like $15 a month. And I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I just really love their service, and I like how their subscription service is just books, because I don't know if I like those boxes that have all those like superfluous like mugs and book plates and all those things like that. So I like Book of the Month because it's just books, and it's also mostly just adult titles, so I can definitely incorporate more adult literature into my TBR because I mostly read YA. So if you guys are interested in getting a discounted price on your first Book of the Month box, you can go through my link down below, and I think you get like $5 off for signing up through my link. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, anyways, let's get into the books. I love how my Book of the Month box, like, they always give you like a little bookmark. I probably have like 20 of these because they send one every time you get a box, and I used to be subscribed to their YA box and their adult box, so I have tons of these, and they're so handy. So the book I picked for the month of May is The Boyfriend Project by Farah Roshan, and this book was actually already on my like possible pre-orders list, because usually I go through like the books that I could pre-order that are being released in that month, and I pick like 2 to pre-order, and this one was already on that list. So this one is an adult romance, and it basically follows, I think, a girl who gets back at her ex-boyfriend with a bunch of other girls. Okay, so I read the synopsis, and I think it's actually like 3 girls who all were dating the same guy, but they obviously didn't know that, so they get revenge on him, and that sounds like an absolutely fantastic story that I'm just like here for. So yeah, I'm super excited to get into this one. I've been reading a lot of adult romance lately, so I feel like I'm really gonna like this one. So like I was saying before, for $15 you can pick one of their like 5 books that they pick, and then if you want to add on additional books for I think $10, you can do that. So I picked 2 books. I actually had some credits saved up because there's a couple of months that I've skipped in the past, so I just used those credits for some additional books. So the first one I have is Anna K by Jenny Lee, and this one is an Anna Karenina retelling but in a contemporary setting. And I actually bought this book specifically for a video I wanted to do where I read books that have my least favorite trope. So the trope here, or I guess like the social class, is like rich people. I don't normally like reading about rich people problems, but that's what this book is entirely about. But I've heard really good things about this, and I heard this is like a really good POC story about a girl who is living her life. That's all I really know about it, but I heard it's really funny and over the top, and I'm just like excited to read it. So yeah. So the last one I have is Nothing to See Here by Kevin Wilson, and this one is actually an adult literary fiction novel, and it basically follows a woman who agrees to babysit or nanny for her friend's kids, but the thing about her friend's kids is that they spontaneously combust. And so this book just basically follows her watching these kids who can spontaneously combust if they get like outraged, and I think that is just a really cool concept, and I've heard really good things about this literary fiction, so I'm just super excited to get into this one. So I think that concludes part 1 of my book haul. So if I have the second one posted, I will link it down below and you guys can watch that as well. I'm gonna try to post these at around the same time since it's kind of like the same video just in 2 parts. But yeah, I have a lot of books. Really fun. I'm actually going to be doing a huge book hunt haul soon because I also have a ton of books that I want to get rid of. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe down below, and hit the notification bell if you don't want to miss a single upload, and have a great day. Bye!